The executive order ensuring accountability for all agencies, which was penned February 18th, 2025. Section 7. Rules of conduct guiding federal employees' interpretation of the law. The President and the Attorney General, subject to the President's supervision and control, shall provide authoritative interpretations of law for the executive branch. The President and the Attorney General's opinions on questions of law are controlling on all employees in the conduct of their official duties. No employee of the executive branch acting in their official capacity may advance an interpretation of the law as the position of the United States that contravenes the President or the Attorney General's opinion on a matter of law, including but not limited to the issuance of regulations, guidance, and positions advanced in litigation, unless authorized to do so by the President or in writing by the Attorney General. There is more text to this executive order, and there is a link to it on the in the description. And I do mean a link specifically to whitehouse.gov to the exact text of this presidential action. Typically, I do not bother wading into the matter of politics on my channel. I know it can be divisive. Let me be blunt. This one section of this executive order is the single most thorough and dangerous power grab in the history of the United States. It is dangerous. It is obscene. And it essentially gives the president the authority to supersede any interpretation of anything that they do not approve of, answerable only in theory to the Supreme Court, who might be able to turn over his action, or to the Congress, which could pass any form of legislation to restrict the president's authority. However, the enforcement of that litigation would be within the purview of the executive branch, and therefore, by this order, would be solely within the authority of the president in order to decide if it should be enforced or how it should be interpreted. Furthermore, although the Supreme Court would be capable of issuing an order to limit the president's power in this, the Supreme Court does not have an enforcement wing. It does not have the ability to actually intervene and stop action. It would merely create a precedent by which future judicial action could be taken. And again, future judicial action would fall within the purview of the Justice Department, which, by this order, would be solely under the control of the president. Without hyperbole, without exaggeration, this one section of this order, even if you don't read the rest of it, and there's plenty else here which is concerning, this one order would give the President of the United States more legislative and judicial power than the monarch of England had in 1776. This is a level of authority greater than an absolute monarch. This is not acceptable. This is not safe. And if you are someone who has supported President Trump, who even supports Trump, even in this, I beg you to stop and to consider this degree of power in the hands of those that you do not align with. This level of power in the hands of Barack Obama, of Joe Biden, of Hillary Clinton. I urge you to consider the implications of giving this much power to anyone while removing oversight, accountability, and the ability to veto that authority. It cannot be permissible. It must be opposed. If you are an American, I urge you to call your congressman, to call your state senators. Most likely, you will not be able to talk to, well, anybody. You might even be sent to a voicemail box, which is completely full. This is increasingly common. Call anyway. Tell them that you oppose the February 18th executive order. Tell them that a president who does not backtrack from claiming this level of authority is unfit for office and must be removed. Contact your local election offices. Congressmen and senators maintain offices in and around their states. These are also staffed by people who work for these officials. Generally, it is easier to get a hold of actual people. Do not go screaming at their staff. That is not appropriate. Simply leave these messages. Let them know how concerning this is. Let them know that you are afraid of it. And let them know that in the future, you will never provide any material support or votes to anyone who does not act to reject this blatant grab of power. I have links down in the description that will help you locate the exact numbers to contact your representatives, to contact and find your representatives' local offices. If you are American, I implore you to act. Please. I genuinely, I sincerely believe that the time is approaching that opposing the increasing power of the executive will no longer be possible without having to escalate behavior to dangerous degrees. And I would very much prefer for it to never reach that point. Thank you.